Hello everyone. In this video we will be discussing about the 0-1 knapsack problem using branch and bound. First we will give you an example to discuss how 0-1 knapsack problem can be applied for a practical case, and then we will discuss how it can be mathematically formulated and also discuss how it can be solved using branch and bound. So let us take one practical case where you've gone to a supermarket and you want to buy some food items. Say you want to buy breakfast items like bread, butter, jam, honey and oats. So each item has a weight. Let us consider W1, W2 and so on, W5 are the weights. So we know that each item has a price, but let us assume that in a supermarket on each item there is a discount, and that can be considered as price saved. So you save price of 40 on butter, you save 30 on bread. So these are the P1, P2 and so on, P5 are the price saved. So our job is to maximize the price saved subject to the condition on weights. So the condition on weights is something like this. You have a knapsack, which is a kind of a bag which can hold only 100 grams, a maximum of 100 grams. So you have to carefully choose the item so that the total sum of the weight doesn't cross 100 grams, and that is a constraint, and your objective function is to maximize the price saved. So whatever the items we choose, the total sum of the price saved should be maximized. So this problem is actually can be formulated as an optimization problem, and more particularly this is a binary optimization problem, which means that you either take an item or you don't take an item, either you include or exclude an item. So including an item is considered as 1 and excluding an item is considered as 0. So when such is the case, we can mathematically formulate this problem as given here. So this is a 0-1 knapsack problem where Pi is the price saved, Wi is the weight of the ith item, and Xi can take either 0 or 1. So if you are including an item, Xi if you are including an ith item, Xi would be 1. If you're not including it, it would become 0. So it's identifying this zeros and 1 combination. So it's a combinatorial problem. We have a 2 power n combinations or possible solutions or possible cases. Out of those 2 power n, some might be infeasible because of the constraint we have, and some might not give the maximum result. So our job is to find out the right sequence xi, x1 to xn, so that the price saved is maximized and also the constraint is satisfied. So in 0-1 knapsack, so in branch and bound, we generally don't solve this as a maximization problem, we solve it as a minimization problem. So this problem can be converted as a minimization problem as follows. So maximizing any function is equivalent to minimizing its negative of that similar function. So it can be written something like this. So maximizing sigma pi xi is equivalent to minimizing minus of sigma pi xi. So we attempt to solve this minimization problem using branch and bound and find out the right sequence xi which will maximize the price saved subject to the satisfying the constraint Wixi is less than or equal to m. Here m is the maximum weight which we have, which is an input. Here in this particular case it is 100 grams. So our job is to find out the xi. So let us see how branch and bound can be used to find out the solution for this 0-1 knapsack problem. So first let us discuss some key points about the branch and bound technique, and then we will specifically discuss the terms which are available in branch and bound, mathematical terminology which we use in branch and bound. So first and foremost, this particular branch and bound technique can also be applied even the weights are not integer, even if the weights are not integers. In other techniques like greedy and DP algorithms, there is some constraint on the nature of the weights, but here we don't have any constraint. Even the fractional parts can also be taken into consideration, give or considered as an input, and still we can find the solution. And branch and bound is basically a combinatorial, is a technique to solve the combinatorial optimization problems. So candidate solutions are obtained through searching a state space tree. So we draw a state space tree and we traverse all along this state space tree to find out the best solution. So it would be looking like a brute force technique, but it tried to avoid some of the solutions by applying some conditions. Let us discuss these conditions in the coming few points. So our job is to the branch and bound works based on the state space tree, but the solutions can be represented in two different forms. One is a fixed tuple size or a variable tuple size. So fixed tuple size, suppose if we have 4 items and we have, suppose n is equal to 4, we can either include or exclude an item in the form of a binary ones and zeros. But there is another approach is also variable size, where you can directly consider that x1 is included and x3 is included. In this particular video, we will be discussing the fixed tuple size method for the solutions. So these and then there are strategies to explore set space and generate branches. There are different strategies. So we will be discussing one of the strategy in this particular video, which is one of the famous approach, but there are other approaches also. Those strategies are FIFO, LIFO and least cost. So we will be discussing the least cost approach for exploring the set space. So what is FIFO? FIFO stands for first in first out. So always the oldest node in the queue is used to extend the branch. So these three categories are coming into, we encountered these because when we grow tree, which node to traverse next or which node to consider next, there are multiple combinations. One approach is take the node which has the least cost. That is the third approach. Second is the first approach is take the node which has the oldest node in the queue, and the LIFO is take the node which is the youngest in the queue. So the oldest node, considering oldest node in the queue, is called as breadth first search. Considering the youngest node in the queue is called as depth first search. And in this particular video, we will be discussing the least cost based approach, where we consider the node which has the least cost among the possible nodes which are available for expansion. So these are the three strategies, and we will be using least cost. So let us now see some mathematical terminology in which are used in branch and bound. So least cost branch and bound. So here we have two bounds. One is a lower bound and an upper bound. Lower bound is C cap and upper bound is U. These are computed for each node in the state space tree. So lower bound C cap is computed based on by including the fractional part. It has to be noted that this particular method is a 0-1 knapsack problem. So there is no way we are trying to give out a fractional solution, but we will be using the fractional part as an intermediate step to obtain the 0-1 knapsack solution. So C cap includes computation of fractional part. So how does the algorithm works? The core of the algorithm works based on using a best upper bound, and this upper bound is keep on updated based on how the nodes are generating the new upper bounds. So every node has a upper bound U and a lower bound C cap, and there is a one common upper bound, best upper bound which we have found out till now across all nodes. We maintain these three. So we maintain U, we maintain C cap, and we maintain a common or the best upper bound which is called as upper. So if at all, if we find an upper bound which is better than the already existing one, so if U is less than the upper, so we always, since it's a minimization problem, we would always look for the smaller and smaller values for U and upper. So if at all, if we find a new node which has a U which is lesser than the already existing upper value, then we replace upper is equal to U. So we keep on update that best upper bound. When I discuss the example, you would be able to appreciate it. So this is one step. So keep on updating the best upper bound. And the other important thing is we don't want to have a brute force search. We don't want to search all the possible paths. We kill the nodes wherever we find it that this particular node, expanding a particular node is useless. How do we come to know a particular node expansion is useless? That depends upon whether a particular solution which it is generating, whether it is going in the direction of infeasibility or whether the C cap is greater than upper. So I have just now said that upper is the best upper bound which we got and C cap is the lower bound. If C cap is greater than upper, which means that C cap indicates the direction in which you can expand. But if C cap itself is greater than upper, the best bound which we found till now, then there is no need to expand that particular node. It is already providing the bad solution. So these are the two cases where you actually kill a particular node. It either falls into infeasibility or C cap greater than upper. So we will discuss both these things once again through a example which would be more clear to us. And in least cost branch and bound, next node is picked based on the node which has the least cost. So this is what we have seen earlier. So there are three different strategies. We follow least cost branch and bound where a particular node, the next node for expansion is chosen based on the least cost of C cap. So keeping these points into consideration, we discuss now an example to give more clarity on how 0-1 knapsack problem can be solved using branch and bound. So earlier we have discussed 0-1 knapsack problem, and we have also seen some terminology of branch and bound. Let us discuss with an example to better understand how branch and bound is able to solve the 0-1 knapsack problem. So let us consider this case where we have weights as given in the screen. W is equal to 2, 3.14, 1.98, 5 and 3, and consider the price saved is same 40, 50, 100, 95 and 30. Let M be 100 as M be 10. So I'm just reducing the weights by factor of 10 as compared to the earlier example. So so our first step is to, so these are the weights and these are the price saved, and this is the constraint on the total sum of the weights. So our first job is to order these items, each of these items. So let us first name these items. So let us call this is A, B, C, D, E. So let us order this item in the decreasing order of P by W ratio. So let me order them. So I'll write it here. So W and P. So after arranging the decreasing order of P by W ratio, what we get in the first is C, then we get 2 and 40, we get 5 and 95, 3.14 and 50, and 3 and 30. So this is C, and this is A, this is D, this is B, and this is E. So we have arranged in P by W ratio, decreasing order of P by W ratio. Once we have done this, we will start with the state space tree. So in the state space tree, we will be starting with the first node, which is C. So let us start with here. So C. So this particular C, for every node, I have said earlier that we have to compute U and C cap. So how is U computed and how is C cap computed? So U is computed as follows. So start from the left to right and sum the weights. So here we have 1.98, 2 and 5, which sums up to 8.98. But our maximum weight is M is equal to 10. We should not cross, but if we include the item B, it crosses 10, so we don't include them. So our total maximum sum is 8.98 in terms of weight. So the price saved is 235. So since our optimum, our problem is a minimization problem, which is a sum of negative of PIXI, sum of PIXI. Therefore, we represent everything in the form of a negative. So we have 100 plus 40 plus 95, which is 235. So we get minus 235 because Pi into Xi, and there is a negative sign. And how is C cap computed? As I was saying earlier, so let me write it more explicitly here. So we get it this from 100 plus 40 plus 95, which sums up to minus 235. And C cap we obtain by also considering the fractional part. So 100 plus 40 plus 95, and we have the fractional part. How do we compute the fractional part? The leftover amount in terms of weight. So here we got total weight as 8.98 by adding all these three. The leftover is 1.02. So 1.02 divided by the weight, which is 3.14. We are taking the fractional, whatever fractional part of it, into 50. So we want a fractional part of the price save that is obtained based on the ratio of their weights. So this sums up to minus 251.25. So these are the U, lower bound and upper bound, computed for this particular node. And so as I have already said, there is a best upper bound which we always maintain. In the beginning, the best upper bound is infinite, but now we found out the upper bound as minus 235. So we just eliminate these or avoid this, and we write the new upper bound as minus 235. See, we are working on a minimization problem. So our best upper bound means we have to constrain the overall feasibility space, which can be done only by kind of reducing this upper value. So here we start with infinite, later we got minus 235. We always look forward to have an upper value which is further less than minus 235. So in this way we try to update this upper. So now expanding this particular node, expanding C. So C can be expanded by considering two ways. So first, x1 is equal to 1 or x1 is equal to 0. So here we did not we consider anything. We just went from left to right and consider the items whichever are possible. But here we are actually finding out, tracing out the solution by in the form of binary way, ones and zeros. So by including the first item and by excluding the first item, how are the solutions or how are the bounds U and C cap? So we have two. So from C we have A. So let us write this as A here. So by including x1 x1 is equal to 1, we earlier also we done that. We included the first item and we computed, we got 8.98 as the weight sum. So the u and c cap values would be the exactly same here also. So u would be minus 235 and c cap would be minus 251.2. So let me write this little. So C cap would be minus 251.2. So why we are using the same values? Because in the first case also we have included, so even if we work out now, we get the same value. So what happens if x1 is equal to 0, which means that we should not include the first item. So if you don't include the first item, 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 3.14 is 10.14, which is crossing the maximum m value 10. So we can only include the second and third item. So that will give us the profit of 40 plus 95, which will be equivalent to 135. So this is minus 135, and the C cap value for this will be equal to minus of 40 plus 95 and fractional part. The fractional part is we have the weights as 3, 5 plus 2 is 7, so 3 is what which is left, divided by 3.14 into 50, which will give us the value as minus 182.77. So here you can see C cap value. C cap value is greater than upper. So our upper value, so let me just draw a line here just to differentiate these things. So here our upper value is minus 235, whereas C cap value is minus 182. So C cap is greater than upper. So we can exclude this exclude, or we can kill this node. So we don't need to further expand this node. So we are left with only this. So let us expand this. See, if we are left with two nodes, our approach is to take the least cost. That is what is the we are following LCBB, least cost branch and bound. So let us now expand this particular node. So we have the third item as D. So let us write D. So we obtain this by either x2 is equal to 1 or x2 is equal to 0. When x2 is equal to 1, it is similar to the earlier case. So our u value would be exactly same, minus 235, and C cap would be same, minus 251.2, because in the first case also we included x1 is equal to 1 and x2 is equal to 1. So it would be, cost would be same. And there would be no updates because upper is still the best upper, which we found out was minus 235. Whenever we find a better upper value, we will update it, and that better upper value will be obtained by one of these nodes. So our job is to figure out which of these nodes can generate the better upper value, so that we can update it and find out the optimal one. So we have done with this particular node. So let us now pursue this x2 is equal to 0. So x1 is equal to 1 and x2 is equal to 0. 1.98, so we should not consider 2. 5, which would be 5 plus 1.98 is 6.98, and it crosses 10, so we can't include 3.14. So we have CD for computing U. So it would be 100 plus 95, so minus of 100 plus 95, which is equivalent to minus 195, and C cap would be equal to minus of 100 plus 95, and the fractional part, which is C, and so 5 plus 1.98 is 6.98, and we have left over as 3.02. So we have 3.02 here divided by 3.14 into 50. What we get here is minus 243.08. So is C cap greater than upper? No, C cap is not greater than upper. So we cannot kill this node. But does U provides any better upper bound than the already existing one? No, U is minus 235, that is the best. minus 195 is bigger than minus 235, so we cannot update, but still we can keep this particular path because C cap is lesser than upper. So let us now pursue one of these paths. So which of these paths should be pursued? That depends upon the least cost. Here C cap is minus 251, so we pursue this particular node. So here x3 is equal to 1 and x3 is equal to 0. So x3 is equal to 1 and x3 is equal to 0. So here after D, our next node is B. So let us consider B here. So when x3 is equal to 1, once again it was like similar to earlier. So U value would be minus 235 and C cap value would be minus 251.2. But when x3 is equal to 0, which means x1 is 1, x2 is 1 and x3 is 0. When we compute values, which would be here U, so we will be having C and A, but we should exclude x3, which is for D, and that sums up to 2 plus 1.98, 3.98 and 3.14, which would give us a value, and that when we subtract by 10, what we get is 2.88. So let us compute the upper bound for this. So 100 plus, so we can include 40, so minus of 100 plus 40, and we can also include 50, which sums up to minus 190, whereas C cap value would be equal to, so it is exactly same as earlier, but we also have the fractional part. So fractional part is 2.88 divided by 3 into 30. This 30 is coming from the last E element. So this sums up to minus 218.8. Once again, our C cap is greater than the upper value, so we cannot pursue this. So let us kill this node. So this is killed. So we have pursued D with both the nodes, but we did not pursue this particular node. So let us pursue this particular node. So since there is no space, I just drag these to the right side. So here once again I'll expand into two ways. So the same B node. So when we see here, it can be either x3 is equal to 1 or x3 is equal to 0. When x3 is equal to 1, the solution is 1, 0, 1. So when we compute in the similar way, what we get is U value as minus 190 and C cap value as minus 243. So this is similar to what we have here. So there is no change. So but still we cannot kill this node because C cap is lesser than the upper value, and there is no need to update this value because U is minus 190, which is greater. So we did not get any better upper bound, so we cannot update it, and we cannot kill even this node. So let us see the next node, which is x3 is equal to 0. So we have x1 is 1, x2 is 0 and x3 is 0. So here the value would be, so U would be, so when x1 is equal to 1, x2 and x3 are 0. So 1.98 plus 3.14 plus 3, which is less than 10. So we can add all this 100 plus 50 plus 30. So minus of 100 plus 50 plus 30, which will be equivalent to minus 180. And C cap value would be, there is no fractional part, so it would be exactly same as the top. There is no more item, and we are still within the framework of less than 10 weight. So but we can see here C cap value is greater than the upper. So C cap is minus 180, whereas upper is minus 235. So since C cap is greater than upper, so we can kill this particular node. So we don't need to pursue this. Whereas this, still there is some promising things. So but as I've said earlier, we pursued in this particular layer all the four. Let us see the least cost. So the least cost is there for this particular node, which is B. So let us expand it. So when we expand these further, So we have the next node after B, we have E. So when we go to E, so when we take x4 is equal to 1 and x4 is equal to 0. When x4 is equal to 1, what happens this node is this becomes infeasible. Because when x4 is equal to 1, it crosses the total weight of 10. So we can't have x1, x2, x3, x4 all together as 1. So we cannot pursue that particular path. So this particular path is infeasible. And now x4 is equal to 0, we will be having the values as u is equal to minus 235 and the C cap value as minus 245.2. So here we still C cap value is greater than lesser than the upper, so we can still pursue this, but there is no better upper bound we have found out. So after x4 is equal to 0, so what we got till now is x1 is 1, x2 is 1, x3 is 1 and x4 is 0. So this particular layer is done. So we can expand this particular node, which is part. Let us see how it is. So here when you expand this, we have this as E, node E, and this as node E, and this is also node E. So when you compute in the similar way, so what happens is, so here we know that x1 is 1, x2 is 0 and x3 is 1, and here we are considering x4 is equal to 1 and x5 is equal to 1. So when x4 is equal to 1, what happens is the sum becomes, so you are just excluding x2, so 1.985 and 3.14. So this crosses 10, so it becomes infeasible. So therefore this particular node is infeasible. So there is no need to pursue that. What happens to this particular node? Here x5 is equal to, sorry, this is x4 not x5. So x4 is equal to 0 and not 1. So when x4 is equal to 0, so our u value is minus 225 and the C cap value is minus 225. This we can compute easily when x1 is 1, x2 is 0 and x3 is 1 and x4 is 0. If we sum up, we get u as minus 225 and there is no fractional part left over, so we get C cap as minus 225. You can see here C cap is once again greater than the upper which we have, which is minus 235, so therefore we can kill this particular node. So we are left with only this particular node. So if we expand these once again, which leads to x5 is equal to 1 and x5 is equal to 0. So when x5 is equal to 1, what happens is it becomes infeasible. Why? Because x1, x2, x3 both, all three are 1 and x5 is also 1. The total sum of the weights crosses the 10 value. So this also becomes infeasible and we are left with the final node, which is this is the answer where you get u is equal to minus 235 and C cap is equal to minus 245.2. So this is the solution. This is the best u value which we can get. The solution therefore is so we have x1 is equal to 1, x2 is equal to 1, x3 is equal to 1, and so 1 1 1 0 1. So this is the solution, and the price saved is 235, and these are the items which would be selected. So 111, sorry, it is 0, not, so 11100 is the solution. So this is how we solve knapsack problem using branch and bow. So this is an example problem showing how branch and bound can be applied, but we can also write the algorithm for it so that it does in an automatic way. So this is about branch and bound solution for solving the knapsack problem. Thank you.